Welcome bitches, one and all, to my reaction to Season 1, Episode 15 of the originals. Now listen, it's in French. I was going to attempt to say the title, but I've decided that I'm just not. So you can look it up yourselves, but yeah. So last time we ended on a very bad note. We ended with the original family potentially more divided than ever before. Like, we've seen them divided in the past, but the revelation that it was actually Rebecca and Marcel that called Mikael to New Orleans all those years ago, that is a big deal for Klaus. Now, obviously, luckily Elijah came along. He daggered Klaus to buy Rebecca and Marcel time to run away. But where we go from here, I don't know. Are Rebecca and Marcel going to actually be on the run? Are we going to see them on the run in like another place in the country? Are we just not going to see them for a while? Or is Klaus going to somehow find it within him to forgive them? I think that's the most unlikely, but we will have to see where we go from here. But yeah, with that said, very excited to get back into it and see where the story goes. So without further ado, let's go. Oh, are we going to actually see Mikael come to town? I wonder if they have the same actor, because obviously that was a while back in the Vampire Diaries.
You know, I shall have to think of a way to thank you personally. In a manner befitting a werewolf queen.
Ah, okay. Intriguing. So she's part of the werewolf packs.
The unification of New Orleans.
We did it, brother.
That's so sad that they literally unified New Orleans and then Mikael turned up.
I don't have time for games, Elijah. The hex on him is getting worse by the day.
My brother has a mystical torture device buried in his chest, and the mother of his child is inexplicably missing, so I can assure you, I have...
Oh, so Haley didn't tell anyone about her plan? That's kind of dodgy, my love, because I understand that they're going to think it's dangerous. Okay, I've kind of figured out why Haley didn't tell anyone, because they would not let Haley do what she did by knocking out Celeste and taking her captive to try and convince her to break the spell on the werewolves. But fucking hell, Haley, not telling anyone where you are when you're with Celeste, one of the most powerful witches, like, hun, careful.
The dagger the witch gave me is inside of him?
And every second it remains causes Niklaus untold suffering.
Who stabbed him?
I did.
I hate this. I hated it the first time. Oh my god. Holy fucking shit.
So watch over him and feed him if you would, but slowly, please. And from your wrist. But your blood is laced with vervain, so it will burn him. He'll ingest it slower.
That's actually really smart to use someone's blood who's laced with vervain, so that he has to ingest it slower and he has to heal slower. Thereby, you will get more time with him before he can go on his little rampage.
Now I fear Sabine may be making a final move against us. I intend to find her and to end this.
Intriguing that Elijah still refers to her as Sabine. It's kind of like he's trying to disconnect from his past love.
You will pay for this.
Shut up, Klaus. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that mentality and all that, but it's just so frustrating that Elijah did it to save Rebecca.
Careful! Sabine.
Or Celeste, or whatever you like to call yourself. Sudden moves make me jumpy. And homicidal.
Sudden moves make me jumpy and homicidal.
So what do you want? Back in the 90s, you inhabited a witch named Bryn Devereaux.
She knows where this is going.
Marcel had her, you, put a curse on a lot of werewolves so they'd only turn human on a full moon.
And let me guess, you want revenge?
No.
I want you to undo the curse.
Yeah. Can it be undone? So far as what we know about witchcraft, it can be undone.
As you may have yet to realize, Cammy, the line between what brings us pain and what sustains us is far thinner than one imagines.
What a fucking quote.
How can you hate her?
Because she has done what no one else has managed to do to me for 1,000 years. Rip my heart out.
Jesus Christ. Like, I give Klaus a lot of shit, and some of it I don't think is fair in comparison to other characters. I know I treat Klaus more unfairly than I should, but in this regard, it's one of those few times where he genuinely has every right to be this upset and pissed off. Like, if he had never daggered his siblings before, he'd never done anything against them in that regard, and this made him then dagger Rebecca and put her in a box, I would be very understanding, even if Rebecca was one of my favorite characters, because This is like a level of betrayal that goes beyond anything. The only reason that it is muckied in my head, and the only reason that I'm not like so on Klaus's side, is because I think that he should have allowed Rebecca and Marcel to explore their relationship if they wanted to. Like, they were both two consenting adults. That being said, I say two consenting adults. We did have a conversation last episode about the fact that Rebecca is a lot older than Marcel, and not only that, but Klaus took Marcel under his wing when Marcel was quite young. So there is that whole idea of grooming that could come into it. Could Rebecca have been, even unintentionally, even if she didn't mean to, could she have been unintentionally grooming him from a young age? Like, that will always come up with these two. But if we take that out of it for a minute, which I know that's an important part, I think that Klaus stopping Rebecca from being in a lot of her relationships, I think that it has caused so many issues that haven't been needed. Like, yeah, I understand he had a right to get, like, protective of her and not want her to date when she was back dating the fucking vampire hunter. But, like, everyone that she's loved since then can't be vampire hunters. They can't be evil people. So I just feel like he should have let her fall in love at some point, and they probably would have been in such a better place in their relationship with each other. But he still has every right to be pissed off in this situation, don't get me wrong.
I'd like to take this opportunity to draw attention to two people
Oh, God.
who have been sneaking around behind my back together. To my loving sister and my right-hand man and best friend, Marcel. May they find joy in each other.
Wait, what? Wait, really? Oh my God, that hurts so much deeper. Oh my God. That fucking sucks. That is the worst thing that could have happened in Rebecca's mind. To find out that, oh my God, to find out that after doing all of this, and even before hearing that, she regretted it. Like, she tried to get Genevieve to reverse the spell, but she wouldn't. To then hear that, fuck.
Turns out they'd already betrayed me. And brought to town the one thing I'd been running from for centuries.
There he is. Oh, they have got the same character, like the same actor, I mean. Fuck yeah.
So you're consumed by revenge you'll never achieve. Elijah
Wow.
implied Rebecca and Marcel could be anywhere in the world by now.
I'm not so sure about that.
I'm pretty sure they're still in New Orleans. Let's be fucking honest.
Oh, it feels like heaven.
You know, it's been over 6 months since Genevieve summoned my father and nothing. The spell must have failed.
Uh.
I am off to speak at the Women's Temperance Society meeting to make sure the wives of this city urge their husbands not to drink.
Aren't you all in the booze biz now?
Yes. But the more one tells you you can't have something, the more you crave it.
That's such a smart business move, oh my God. I wonder what his point of view of his other children are. Like, I'm sorry, I have a really bad memory, and the Vampire Diaries and the originals are such complex shows that it gets to me sometimes how I can't remember some things, but I can't remember his attitude towards his other children. Obviously, for some reason, he hated Klaus. We know the reason, that he's not his actual father and his wife had an affair and all that, but like why he wants to kill Klaus, I don't know. But what are his attitudes towards the other children? Did he want to kill them as well? Did he want to eliminate them? I'm starting to remember, actually. Didn't he not like vampires as a species? Didn't he think that they had made a mistake, that all of his children were abominations and he wanted to wipe them all out? I'm pretty sure that was the mindset. It was the idea of like, kill all of them and then he'll kill himself and then they're Gucci. No more vampires in existence.
If we go back and get
It's
her,
a suicide mission.
it's our only hope. We resurrect her, take her with us and get out of town. Then she can hide us from Klaus so he'll never find us.
We don't even know the right witch to kill to bring her back.
Then we'll kill them all.
Yeah, you're acting like this is going to be an easy task, bro.
When order is restored, your kind won't be allowed in here.
Unfortunately, that day has not yet come. I need to find Sabine. I believe she's taken someone very important to me.
No, she's been taken by somebody very important to you.
Now, once Sabine manipulates those around her, she will do what she has always done. She will jump into another body and disappear, leaving your witches powerless.
No, she has the faith. She will see our power restored.
If she has the faith and she'll see your power restored, why has she taken the body of all of the innocent witches over the years? Like, Actually think about it. If she cared about your order and she cared about the witches within your community, she wouldn't have taken their lives by taking their bodies over. Like, you have to listen to yourself, love.
If what Sabine says is true, when she sacrifices herself, all of her power will flow back into the earth. However, if she has lied and tries to take another body, the spell will deliver her to a very different destination.
A very different destination? Are we talking about the other side? Like, will it force her to then move on?
Now many go up against those odds and live to tell the story.
I'm still standing here, aren't I? I've gone up against the worst of them all. I'll take another.
I was gonna say, how did Marcel escape thingy? Like, if Marcel is so closely linked to Klaus, surely Mikael would have wanted to take Marcel out as well just to hurt Klaus, you know? So like, I'm a little bit confused here, and especially when Mikael doesn't like vampires in general. So how did Marcel get away from him? I would assume Mikael was chasing Rebecca, Klaus, and Elijah. Therefore, he didn't have time to take out Marcel.
I'm sorry for your loss. Here's to old faces and new places.
Has Marcel put the pieces together yet? I don't think so.
I suppose I have to thank you for extending this invitation.
Ooh.
Who are you?
Who do you think, bro?
You're a smart man. I think you know.
Even the accent, Marcel.
You did it for love. The love of my daughter. So I'm going to make you a promise. I won't hurt Rebecca. Truth be told, she was always my favorite.
Wow.
You must tell me where to find my sons.
Wow. Intriguing that he says, truth be told, she was almost my favorite, because I was under the impression that he wanted to wipe them all out, thereby eliminating the existence of vampires, period. So I wonder if he's lying to Marcel here, saying that he'll leave Rebecca alone when in reality he was just going to take them all out. But the other thing I'm very intrigued by is the fact that Marcel genuinely had some strong reactions to the idea of Rebecca getting hurt, because don't get me wrong, I can see that they are in love and all that, but a part of me has always thought about Marcel. I do wonder if he is doing all of this so he can gain control of the city, and Rebecca's just like a byproduct of that. She's like the extra cherry on top, but that's not the reason he actually called Mikael, but it seems as though it was.
You won't make it that far, so be a good little boy and get back into bed.
If I had a quid for every time a woman's tried that line on me.
You'd have
A quid? Didn't expect to hear that word.
Some women actually find me quite charming.
Ah, so she was part of that family, okay.
Tell Rebecca to bring Marcel. Feel free to tell her now. I have some business I need to discuss with our new ally.
It's so sad that Klaus was so willing to let them have this chance right as they had betrayed him. I wonder how much different the universe would have been if Rebecca hadn't called Mikael.
Great way to poison us all at once.
Look, I know you have no reason to trust me, but Haley, I actually like you. I was you. Call it a chance for me to give you what I was too in love to give myself. It's a chance to free yourself from the originals. Intriguing
to hear that point of view from her, because even if this could still potentially be poison and she is just going to kill them all, I'm not doubting that. I'm at about 50-50 right now. It's interesting to hear that point of view from her, because even after we've seen her talk about the fact that it's Klaus that she's really annoyed at, but she's still annoyed at Elijah for sticking with Klaus and all that, it's interesting to hear a point of view saying that Elijah loved his brother more than he loved me, and he put that love first and foremost, which resulted in my death. Like, of course she would be angry at Elijah as well. I don't know why I didn't even piece that together before.
Whatever she's promised you, it's a lie.
Oh.
You're suggesting that we hold her captive for an entire month.
That's impossible.
We'll take an army.
And I've got one.
I love that. Ow!
So help me or get out of my way.
You cheeky little bastard.
You're holding the cure for Haley's clan in your hand.
You condemned her people's decades of agony, and now you just break the curse without so much as a whimper. Why?
Yeah, why?
Because it's the best thing I could do for her, and it's the worst possible thing I could do to you. You destroyed that jar, you killed me. Haley will hate you for snatching her family from her. Now, if you give her the jar, we both know that she'll leave you in the end to be with them.
Wow, you sneaky little bitch.
So you decide, give her everything she ever wanted and lose her, or deny it. See what happens then.
She is smart. You gotta give it to her.
You said you had information of interest to us?
Rebecca and Marcel are back.
This can be one of two things. Either he is tricking them by asking them to be here because he made an emphasis on wanting Sabine there as well. We know that Marcel and Rebecca want to take them all out to have the highest chance of getting Davina back. The other way that this could be going is that he is telling the truth and he's just going to turn them in so that he can be on the winning team. But I don't feel like that is as likely due to his past allegiances to Marcel.
I can lead you straight to them, but there's something I want in return. Your life.
Oh my god. He just ripped her head off. What the fuck?
If we don't leave now, there will be no one to save us.
I already failed Davina once. I'm not leaving her behind.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm almost positive that Sabine is holding Davina's power. Like, I'm positive. They wouldn't have... Now that we've got Monique back, they wouldn't have Sabine's power be some random harvest girl, you know?
Le Guignol. Saw it in Venice. Marvelous production.
Oh my god.
It was your bastard brother I hunted, not you. You are my blood, one that I've been proud to call son. So I came here to give you a chance to help me put down that whelp for good.
That whelp, wow.
If you honestly believe that I would betray my own brother for you, you're a fool without equal.
Wow.
I'll forgive you your sentimental affections for the thing you call brother.
The thing? You are such a dick, bro.
Niklaus is an abomination.
Are you not all abominations? Are you not all abominations? I don't understand. Like, I'm so confused about this mentality. What makes Klaus much more of an abomination than you? Because he's part werewolf? What makes a werewolf an abomination? They're supernatural creatures the same as you are. Like, I don't understand.
Stand with me. Or fall with him. Always choose him.
My god, Elijah. Oh.
Elijah has always carried guilt for that night, for not stopping our father. I told him not to blame himself. When your father wants to kill you, he wants to kill you.
Yikes. What trauma that would hold. That sentence alone, when your father wants to kill you, he'll kill you. You have no choice about it. Like, Jesus Christ.
My sister and her lover have been spotted in town. So story time endeth here, I'm afraid.
Klaus.
A white oak steak, my own special version.
Klaus, come on now. Klaus, don't be fucking stupid. You cannot kill Rebecca.
I'm going to kill my sister.
I understand that obviously he has a little bit more reason than Michael, but you are literally becoming your father, Klaus. Like, the way you treated Catherine, the way you hunted Catherine for years was the exact same way that your father hunted you. The way that you are now going to hunt Rebecca was the exact same way that your father hunted you to kill you. How you don't see that is beyond me.
As a person who has lost a sibling who has felt that pain, you won't survive it if you're the one who kills her.
I'll tell you what I almost didn't survive, love. My sister, bringing the most vile creature ever to have walked the earth down upon me.
Yes, your father.
And she regrets it so fucking deeply.
By terrorizing them the way you yourself were terrorized. Don't become your father.
Thank you, Cammy. Someone said it.
Michael was the monster monsters were afraid of. Come, let me show you.
The thing is, it's like, Klaus will never accept that he is showing any semblance of his father because, unfortunately, like I said, Klaus does have a little bit more reason. Klaus has actual reason to be upset with Rebecca. Rebecca did also have reason to be upset with Klaus in the past as well, not erasing that, but Michael hunted Klaus simply because of who he was, simply because of his genetics, his biology, something he can't help. So I don't know if Klaus is ever going to be able to see that comparison and understand the parts of his father that he himself has taken.
Take it. It will work.
I really hope it does. We have to wait a full month though, so you better hide it well.
Come full moon, I can finally free my family.
I wonder if they have any idea how lucky they are to have you.
Wow, what a moment. I feel like that alone kind of proved what Celeste was saying. Like, yes, Haley and Elijah did just share a really nice moment, but the way she just looked back at her family, smiled, and then walked away with them is like, it just kind of would have dug in deep for Elijah there that Celeste is probably right. And when Haley gets her family back, it's going to be hard to see Elijah the same.
The Elijah I knew was never so meek.
But the Celeste I knew was never so cruel.
Wow. Good point, though.
My family, despite all that you have done, will heal in time.
If you had the time, maybe. But you really think Rebecca ran far and fast from here? I bet she didn't.
She's long gone.
Is she?
Elijah, come on now, be smart.
Marcel loves Davina. Davina's dead, but she could come back under the right circumstances.
They wouldn't dare.
If you hadn't been so worried about Haley, you might have figured it out sooner.
Wow.
Do it.
I don't think he would have killed her, because then she would just move on.
See if you can't find our brother while you're there. The curtain is about to go up.
Who's he going to confront first, Rebecca or Klaus? Oh my god. Oh my god.
I would advise against trying to flee, boy.
Father.
Father? Still clinging to that word after all these years?
Wow. Okay, right. Before we even continue, few things to note there. One, well done, the actor who plays Klaus. Jesus Christ, the way you could just see the fear go over him, and not just the fear, but your mind would be going through so many things. I thought I finally found a home. I thought we were safe. Why is he here? How has he got here? Like, your mind would just be going everywhere, haywire. You'd be thinking, is Marcel okay? Is Rebecca okay? Elijah? But then not just all that, but father, and then like you're still clinging to that word. How horrendous is that? He's truly, like, out of everyone we've seen in this show, he's truly one of the worst people. Like, we deal with murderers, we deal with sociopaths, but Michael's mentality of how he treats Klaus and calls him a bastard, calls him an abomination, it's horrendous.
I wonder if your real father would be as embarrassed as I was of you before I discovered that you were not mine.
Jesus Christ.
Don't worry. Death will come.
But also fascinating that he didn't kill him immediately. That was your biggest mistake there, bro.
I will die, knowing my hatred of you was just. Proud of all I have achieved here.
Some things remain unsaid. For instance, you were right to be proud of your achievement here, as I was.
Is that why he burned it down? Burned down his empire before hurting him? Before hurting him? Before killing him, Harry?
I will remain here in New Orleans until every last person who remembers you is dead. The deeds of the mighty Klaus will be remembered by no one.
Wow.
And you, boy, will simply never have existed.
Fuck you. How did they get away then?
The grand show. Oh, I made some alterations in your honor. You'll love it.
I mean, we know that the play was very similar to Klaus's story, so what are these altercations? Alterations?
And what a show it was. Michael, who compelled the audience to watch it all, to applaud as if it were the drollest of comedies.
Oh my god.
Rebecca attempted to intervene. No!
Oh my god.
All these years, I actually believed she was trying to save me. But then Big Brother swooped in.
There's no helping Marcel. We must run.
I'm assuming what happened here was the only reason he didn't kill Marcel was because those three running away distracted Michael enough that he then chased them, thus not killing Marcel and everyone, which, Jesus Christ, but Klaus's idea of I genuinely thought that she was trying to save me, I think she was, like, she genuinely regretted what she did, Klaus, deeply. She, like, those 6 months after, she had wished that she hadn't done it. When she went to Genevieve, she wanted her to undo the spell. It was a moment of weakness because of how you had treated her, and that's why she did it. But he has every right to be pissed off. I just don't think he has every right to be pissed off to the point of killing her.
As we fled for our lives, he burnt it all to the ground, and with it, we assumed Marcel.
So they thought Marcel died in that fire, okay.
I will not terrorize my sister and her lover for centuries, nor will I humiliate, torment, or dehumanize them. No, none of that.
He's just gonna kill him. Jesus Christ, Klaus. I assume Elijah's gonna get there first and they're actually gonna have a talk.
Oh, there's always another pretty young body for me to jump into. From
That's
now
what you
on,
think, my darling.
every time you feel a connection to a woman, you'll be forced to wonder if it's me.
Wow. Oh my god. okay, few things. One, that was smart. But secondly, I never even thought about that fact. You will never know if it's me. You'll never know if it's me pretending to be someone else. You'll never trust another woman. Like, that is insane. That is a level of control over someone that if you want revenge on them, she's got it.
The originals can enter, but they can't leave.
You wouldn't.
I would. And I did.
Oh, so she's gonna trap them all in there. So like, even if they wanted to run, they can't. They're fucked. Klaus will kill them. Oh no.
Run! Get Davina out of here!
I'm not leaving you behind.
Go, Marcel.
I will not leave you behind.
Marcel, go.
It's a lunar spell. You'll be free by the next moonrise. My guess is your sister won't last that long. Wow, this body has been a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh my god. Is Monique gonna do the spell? Has she done the spell?
You were right. Celeste, turn this soul into
What's happening? Where's she going? Is she going into her original body? Oh my god, it is! Oh, that is cool.
Monique Devereaux and I had a little wager regarding your ability to keep a promise. It appears I won.
Non, tout est possible.
I assume that now, based on how scared she is, I assume that now she is in this body, it's kind of confirmed that if she dies in this body, she is dead. At least now we have guarantee that Davina's coming back, though. Oh, Genevieve isn't dead. Don't tell me Genevieve is the one whose spirit is linked to Davina. Please. Davina? Let's go! She's back! Is she traumatized from the other side, though? Because obviously, Monique, she came back a little bit.
He's going, sister.
No.
Oh,
Both of you must flee the city.
oh my god, how much? This is what I love about this universe so much. The Vampire Diaries and the originals included. Is the complexity of the stories to the point where if you go back and watch season 1, you now have in your mind that Rebecca and Marcel had this whole plan to be together. They had this whole plan to live the rest of their lives together. And they called Mikael to town to take Klaus out and everything. And in her mind, Marcel died that night. Like,
Who's leaving? Go.
Bless their hearts.
Leave!
How long was Elijah separated from them?
Elijah.
Rebecca, you should be on the other side of the world by now.
You and I both know that wouldn't have been far enough.
Get away from her!
Oh my god.
She's mine.
Oh my god. What a fucking ending. I don't even have any words right now. What a good episode. What a fantastic episode. So yes, there we have season 1, episode 15 of the originals, and that was an absolute fantastic episode. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Flashback episodes will always be my favorite because not only do they make the story more complex in the moment, like they add so many more layers and elements to the show, they make it more complex even on a rewatch. Like if you go to rewatch this show, stuff like this, these are the things that like bring up all of those past moments where you then go back and watch season 1 and you see, for instance, Rebecca and Marcel's first meeting, and you actually know what happened between them. You know the secret that they are both keeping. You know that even in that exact scene with them two together, they're probably both thinking about the fact that they betrayed Klaus when it's not said for episodes later. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that that I really fucking love. But yeah, in terms of what we found out this episode, I still firmly stand on the idea that Klaus has every right to be pissed off at Rebecca and he has every right to cut her out of his life. He does not have every right to kill her. I don't think anyone ever has a right to kill another person. But in regards to if he is, it's like I fully think that he has a right to be upset with her, but I do think he needs to look in the mirror and realize that even though he thinks that the only reason he kept her from Marcel was because he didn't want her to be hurt by having to lose Marcel if they had to run away, he has to understand that even though that may have been a contributing factor, another contributing factor would have been that he did not want their love for each other to overshadow their love for him. And that comes from a lot of his deep down insecurities. And he needs to look at that as well and to understand that part of it and why they would have been very upset with him for not allowing them to be together. But in Klaus's eyes, Rebecca turning on him and basically giving him a death sentence so that she could be with Marcel, it's not an okay comparison. You know what I mean? Like, you can't compare, I don't want you to be with this man, with I'm going to get my father to kill you. It just does not work. Now, in terms of seeing Mikael this episode, it's not like I forgot. It's just like funny to be reminded. It's just scary to be reminded of how horrendous of a person he was. Like, this man is peak monster. He is the monster that monsters are scared of, like Klaus said. He literally burned down that entire theater full of people. He went on a killing spree. He said to Klaus that once I've killed you, I'm going to kill every single person who even knows your name so that you are completely forgotten from history. Like, that is a level of villain that we've not seen in this universe since Mikael. But yeah, now taking away from the Mikael stuff and all that, we did get development on the werewolf story, and it seems as though Hayley does actually have a cure now. We're just going to have to wait a month for it to actually be used, which in terms of episode time could very well be the end of the season, could be in a couple of episodes. I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, but it's nice that that's been tied up. And then speaking of being tied up, obviously, we now have Bastiana and Sabine / Celeste both completely dead and added to the souls of the ancestors. So they are done. Genevieve is still alive, which out of anyone to still be alive of those three, I would have thought it would have been Celeste. So I'm a little bit surprised on that front, but the way she took out Rebecca and Marcel so quickly proves that she is a powerful witch. So she could very well be a continuing villain in the future. But yeah, it's good to have Davina back, and it's nice to have a lot of these storylines tied up. We're just kind of left at an impasse here where what can they do? Like, it's not like Elijah and Rebecca can somehow escape. They are going to have to fend Klaus off for a good 24 hours until the moon rises again. And how are they going to do that? Yeah, they have the dagger. Yeah, they have the pain dagger. But unless they're going to instantly stab Klaus again, which, given that Klaus is in attack mode, I don't think is possible, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to somehow convince him not to hurt Rebecca, but then they all went attack mode. They all got their fangs out. So it just feels like this is the end. And he said he wasn't going to make Rebecca suffer. So it's not like he's just going to bite her with his venom and make her go hallucinatory. Where am I going with that? Not going to just make her hallucinate and torture her, you know? He's just going to want to stab and kill her. So I don't quite know where we're going to go from here, but I'm very, very excited for next episode. Let's just say that. But yes, anyway, with all that said, another fantastic episode of the originals, and I'm very excited to see where we go from here. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I've left a link down below to my Patreon, where you'll be able to find the early and uncut reactions to the originals and all the other shows that I do. Also left a link to my Twitch, my Discord, and my socials, so be sure to follow them if you're interested. And Jess, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.